Very well, then now you're up to speed with what's happening or what was happening in the previous week that was in the tech world. Time now for that discussion that I promised you on the tech trends to watch out for in 2024. Let's do a forecast. I'm now joined by Mbuthia, who is the CEO and founder of UZAPOINT. He'll be talking to us about his personal views about the tech space in 2023 and now 2024 and what it's going to mean. Abraham, thank you so much for making time for us on NTV. We're glad you made it. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Mbuthia. I'm the CEO and founder of UZAPOINT. At UZAPOINT, we are typically helping the small and medium-sized businesses, not just in Kenya, but across Africa.
Very well. So what stood out for you in tech space in 2023?
So I think there are so many things that we can actually appreciate in the tech space that has happened. Yeah. But I think one of the key trends that we have actually seen, number one, is, for example, in terms of lending. Lending has actually grown a lot in the tech space. I was looking at the numbers, even from whatever the government is doing. They've done about 36 billion in terms of the Hustler Fund. Okay. Now look at the market as it is right now. The dollar is very high. The cost of living is very expensive. So how do businesses stay afloat? How do small businesses continue running the operational cost? How do they expand? So most of them are actually shifting a lot to actually getting credit. But the fact that we also have a lot of people who set up a very good infrastructure that you can actually get more real-time loans is actually a positive thing for these small businesses. So that's one of the key things that I've seen. There are a lot of companies that have come in, and again also in the world of e-commerce, we've seen a lot of spike in terms of the transactions that are coming in. And when you talk about e-commerce, it's a wide space. Okay, you can talk about the B2B, like what you talk about last mile distribution. Of course, some of the challenges have been seen in the last mile distribution. You've seen a few companies struggling when you get to last mile distribution. It's not something very positive, but there are also learnings from it.
Fair enough. AI, artificial intelligence, has been a big buzzword for majority of industries and is the biggest disruptor, I think, in the tech space. But apart from just AI, what else should people look out for in 2024? What's going to shape the 2024 tech space?
Now, everybody is talking AI. In fact, if you go somewhere in your pitch and you just say AI, people are asking now for your valuation, they're starting to do their DD, and you're almost getting money anyway. So the first trend that we are looking into is artificial intelligence. As a company, as UZAPOINT, we are also focusing a lot on AI. Look at it this way. How big businesses have managed to grow is because they have proper data to actually make business decisions, okay? So even for us as UZAPOINT, one of the things we are doing, we are putting a lot of AI tools that allow these businesses to actually know how they need to, what they need to invest in, what they need to. So if, for example, if it's inventory, they know which are their fast-moving products, what they need to invest in at certain times of the day, etc. The market, there's another disruption that you're seeing in the market, but of course it has to have a lot of regulation. We're talking about blockchain and crypto, especially on the crypto side. As at 2021, the African market was doing about $20 billion a month. It is the fastest growing market, Africa, but it's the smallest market when you think about different markets, okay? However, the opportunities are immense. And so what needs to be done for that particular market? I think it's just a matter of regulation. With blockchain, again, you understand the security, the scalability, the flexibility that it actually provides to not just businesses, but also consumers is immense. So that's also a trend that you're actually seeing coming up. Things that you're seeing, of course, there's the world of IoT, which we don't speak about enough in this particular country. I think people have actually shifted a lot from it, but we need to have a lot of smart houses, smart lighting across board, which are things that will come up definitely in 2024.
So this site tells me that there are about 2,200 cyber attacks on a daily basis, and these are the ones that are reported only. Wachana na ile bado hatujaambiwa. So that means there's of course demand for cybersecurity experts and all that. What other tech skills are needed in this market, and how are they going to shape how 2024 looks like for the young people who are venturing into tech and they want to get some tech skills?
So of course, the skills actually go hand in hand with the trends that are actually in the tech space. In Kenya, for example, we don't have enough AI experts, okay? So that's a big thing. And I don't think we have enough institutions that actually provide that education here. So I think there needs to be a lot of people going abroad to actually study this and bring that knowledge here. That's number one. Now, tied to artificial intelligence is also data analysis, because at the end of the day, as much as we can come up with algorithms that help to make informed decisions on the go, I think we also need a lot of analysis for data. Institutions are not just looking at what is happening currently, but want to see forecasts, projections, and not just forecasts and projections that are not based on historic data. Okay, so they actually need a lot of information to consume. So we are looking at people like, for example, accountants and finance people who are not just people who are doing data entry and the traditional tax returns that they do for you, but you're looking at people who can actually analyze data and help you visualize that data in a different kind of way. Other than that, I think we also need a lot of people in this cyber security space. You talked about the digital, the cyber attacks that are actually happening. For us to regulate most of these new emerging technologies that are coming up, then there also needs to be a lot of security. Because if we're able to safeguard these IPs, we're able to safeguard this tech infrastructure, then it becomes very easy for the regulators to actually be open for innovation. So I think those are some of the key things. Oh, one last thing I think I need to also mention is UI UX. We are moving from a point where we used to just jump onto a project and start implementation. The experience is something that is very, very big for users. So we need to also get people who understand. It's not just understanding the use of platforms, because even when you're building apps, are you able to tell the mood that this person should have when they're interacting with a certain feature?
Great. 2023 was, of course, a heavy year with regard to policies. Among them, the famous or infamous, depending on which lenses you wear, the famous or infamous Finance Act of 2023, and how it's going to affect influencers. Of course, they operate on the online platform, and that's why we are talking about them. But just how are some of the tech policies going to shape 2024 also?
I think what we need to advocate as people in the startup space is there needs to be a lot of consultation between the government and the people who are in this particular space. So if, for example, if it's the influencers and you're bringing attacks to do with the influencers, have they been put in a round table for them to engage? Because at the end of the day, we are in a market where we want to promote innovation. So if you come in and you're trying to put in a lot of barriers to innovation, then we are not doing ourselves enough justice. Because let's talk about the influencers. And even for us, in terms of marketing, we invest a lot in influencers and they're making a lot of money. I think, and there's a lot of money in that particular space. And I think that's why the government now is excited to tap into it. But I think what we need to do is actually have a lot of consultation and engagement. Because, again, for the country to run, it has to run based on the taxes that are paid. But we need a lot of consultation to see, is the 30% really valid, or is there a way we can work out a relationship where, yes, there's tax being paid, but it also not hinders innovation. Because at times when you also overtax people, they also push back. You get.
It's called the Laffer effect.
Yes.
Laffer curve.
Yes, and it's something that is there. So you might try and put a lot of, taxation into these things, and then bottlenecks. So I think that's how I look at it. But again, we can never stop innovation. There's a lot of content being created, and the content creates a lot of education as well. consumers have an easy access to a wide range of products. We now have a lot of people being authentic, because you're able to, if branch is using something, then I'll be able to know you've gone through the DD process, due diligence process, and you've validated that product is actually viable, and I'm able to consume that product. So there are good things with whatever we are seeing in this social space. We need to encourage it. I see people as young as 15 years, all the way to, 29 years, actually getting a lot of money, more than people in who are executives, probably even people who are even maybe the head of state. Someone is earning more than him.
Said it, actually.
Yes, he said it one day, and he told two people to stand. I think Jugush, and he told them, these guys actually are making more money than I am. So it's actually a good thing, and we need to invest and encourage more young people to actually use their skills.
Last but not least, and this should be fun, what tech events are you looking forward to this year?
I think Africa Tech Summit is good, but I would want to actually do the ones outside Kenya. I think, yeah. So that will be exciting for me. I know they do in Rwanda, they do in South Africa, etc.
There's one in London.
Yes, there's one in London. Last year I was able to attend the London Tech Innovation Summit.
Okay.
The Africa Tech Summit was like a week after. I didn't manage to attend it, but I would want to attend the Africa Tech Summit across board, and there are many others.
Thank you so much for making time for us, Abraham. We really appreciate it.